We also know today is July 1st. So happy July 1st, everyone. We also know here in Virginia there are a, a handful of, we know there's dozens of laws, but there's also a handful of laws that are really going to impact pretty much everyone, from consumers to whether you're out on the roads to pay for a lot of people and restaurants. So we want to break down a little bit of that right now. We know that restaurants are facing a lot of new laws right now that are set to take effect today. Some of that includes from what they can serve in to also liquor sales. So we're going to start with the liquor sales. This is actually pretty interesting. So under this new law, it's actually going to reduce the food and beverage ratio. So really, it reduces 45% of food to beverage ratio that each restaurant or business can do. So the monthly food sales of at least $48,000, you're good. But restaurants that maybe average $25,000, less than that $48,000 cap, it'll be a 30% of food to beverage. And then if you go down to 4,000, it's even a higher percentage. So that's going to be something that's going to be changing when it comes to the liquor sales. And one of the big ones we've really been following for the last few weeks now here at 13 News is the banning of styrofoam containers and cups. So this is really going to impact food vendors, hospitals, and even schools across the entire state. So basically, this is just going to ban them from using styrofoam. So you probably go to a lot of food trucks, food vendors, and normally you get your food to go. They give you a styrofoam cup for your drink, a styrofoam to go plate, sort of like at a cookout. So basically, under this new law, they cannot use that anymore. And we've heard from both sides on this law, or debate rather, that some people are for it, some people are against it. And obviously, it's really impacting the food vendors and business owners. And vendors, they've told us over the last few weeks that it's really cutting into their cost. Many of them having to switch to or find new types of containers. That's costing them more money. It's also costing them more time for their business. Instead of cooking and serving customers, they're having to spend more time trying to search for new ways to hand out and share their food. Meanwhile, we have talked to a lot of advocates, and they say they believe this law is needed to help reduce litter and also protect the environment. And some of the advocates we've also talked to say they never intended this to hurt business owners. They just wanted to protect the environment. And we know that, the businesses that do not follow this rule or violate it, they will face a $50 fine. So those are two big things that are really impacting restaurants and businesses right now. It's something that we also have on our website, a full breakdown at 13newsnow.com. Another thing I really wanted to touch on is pay. This is something that affects everyone, no matter what business you're in. So under this new law, one of the new laws, employers must post in good faith the salary that the person that is applying for the job, they must see that in the job listing going forward. The job can also not ask a person how much they got paid at their previous job. So those are two big things that are going to be impacting a lot of people, especially when they apply for their next job or transfer jobs. We also know that the wage garnish protections garnish, so banks are going to have to shield a certain minimum when it comes to garnishes for money and wages and whatnot. So those are three things that we're following. There's also another one when it comes to pay. I'm just going to pull it up really quick because this was something that we were really, really trying to follow. Again, there's dozens of new laws that are happening, and we were going through them this morning, and really it is not only impacting just one person, but it's impacting a lot of people no matter what field you work in. So again, that pay transparency is a big one. I know a lot of people, I've heard my friends and colleagues all across the country, a lot of people say like, hey, they want to know how much they're getting paid when they're applying for a job. Sometimes you might see an amount you're paying for, sometimes you might not. But I want to go back to that wage garnish protections, because under that it states that banks and other institutions, not the person being garnished, but the banks and other institutions now have to automatically shield a minimum amount of money in certain government benefit payments from garnishment. So that's something we're also monitoring. We know there's now no non-competes for healthcare workers. So if you're a doctor, nurse, counselor, maybe even a social worker, and other licensed healthcare professionals, you can no longer be bound to non-compete agreements at all. So that's under the new House Bill 627. That is a new law that also takes effect today. And when it comes to non-compete agreements, companies can no longer enforce a non-compete agreement against someone they fired without cause unless that employee got severance pay or some other disclosed compensation up front. So that only applies to agreements signed after today. So something to keep in mind. You never know. You might find yourself in that situation. I pray no one will, but you just never know. So those are some of the big things that are surrounding restaurants as well as pay. We know there are a lot more laws that we want to break down. Sarah, you want to take a quick break right here? We're going to take a quick break here at 10:55, but don't go anywhere, everyone. We got several big laws that will impact you, especially if you drive a lot, especially through school zones. And then we know the assault weapons ban was a big one that kind of got touched on. We want to recap that really quick because we do know that one is on hold. But don't go anywhere, everyone. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. It is 10:58 on your Wednesday morning. We are continuing our conversation about the new laws that are taking effect here in Virginia starting today. And we know one of the big ones, you've probably saw this on social media over the last few weeks, but this is one that really caught our attention. Senate Bill 84, which really surrounds AI-powered traffic cameras. So under this new law, starting today, local governments can have the choice to use automated enforcement technology to detect drivers who run stop signs or fail to yield to pedestrians at crosswalks, particularly in school zones. So we know that this is some new technology thanks to an AI company who really has come about to try to work with state local governments to bring this technology about. So you kind of see a little bit of that video on your screen right there, showing a little bit of how it works. So basically, again, this can allow any any locality or community here in Virginia to implement this. And one company is preparing to offer this technology here in Virginia. It's called Obvio. So there are solar power cameras can detect stop sign violators and those who fail to kind of yield at signs. So company leaders, we actually spoke with them earlier this month, or last month at this point, I should say, in June. Company officials say that the systems can also identify when drivers are distracted, speeding, though only violations authorized under state law can be enforced. So we've done some research, and what happens is if you are caught on this camera, a local police officer will go back and review that footage to see or determine if you meet that standard for a traffic violation. So we know that this new technology with these cameras, they're going to be using AI to kind of process images and identify those violations. And we know that the president of this company who is helping running this, they say this is a good example of using AI for good. And according to the company, footage of a suspected violation, again, is uploaded for an officer to review, and an officer must determine whether a citation should be issued before it's mailed out to you in the mail. So we know there's probably some privacy concerns. One of the big questions we asked this owner of this company was, hey, what happens with some of the data that's collected? And the company says that privacy concerns were considered when they designed this. They say that the AI can automatically blur faces and other sensitive information before that video is stored and reviewed. So that's a good information right there. I know a lot of people are probably weary of it. We do know that I was on Facebook and I actually saw that Virginia Beach Police Department, they actually put up an article saying that they already have maybe more than 5 cameras already installed at school zones across the city of Virginia Beach. We do have that. We should have more information on our website, our 13newsnow.com, but it's certainly on their Virginia Beach Facebook page. But that's something that has already been implemented earlier this year, back in February. So it's still not certain if they will be one of the localities that are going to be using this AI technology to run those scans. So that's something we're working to learn, because obviously it's just the first. We haven't heard of any locality saying, hey, we're going to use this technology, but that's just something to keep in mind. We're also told that the first 30 days after a camera is activated, it will be a warning period. No citations will be issued. And community leaders say that the program is intended to really change driver behavior rather than generate revenue off of handing out tickets. So that's one of the big new laws we know that are taking place today. Another thing is coming to housing. We know a lot of, right now we've heard from advocates, there's been an increase of people reporting of falling behind on their rent and possibly facing evictions. Well, there's two new laws that are also taking effect today to kind of try to cut down and help with this. So one of the new ones is landlord payment rules. So under these new laws, landlords under the Virginia Residential Landlord and Tenant Act must take checks and money orders for rent or deposits. Landlords can also not charge processing fees higher than the cost to process the payment. And then the landlord also cannot force tenants to pay for maintenance or repairs. So that's one of the new things under that new landlord payment rules. We also know when it comes to evictions, there's going to be a longer notice time when it comes to eviction. So right now, before the law went into effect today, it was a 5-day window period. Now that has increased to 14 days that a landlord must notify you before you can be evicted. And again, we know this is going to be something that can help a lot of tenants out. We've heard from housing advocates in the past who say they have been getting reports of more people falling behind on their rent, also facing evictions. We know parents, single parents are under this category. So this is something that should help a lot of tenants across the 757. We also know one of the new laws is around reckless driving. So that's been something that state lawmakers want to crack down on. So under the new 46 House Bill 46.2, under this, Virginia's new intelligent speed assistant program is going to require some reckless driving offenders, including anyone caught going over 100 miles per hour, to have a speed limiting device installed in their car. So other offenders can choose a 9-month enrollment instead of a 3-month license suspension. So that's something new when it comes to, the state and as well as local law enforcement trying to crack down on this. So it's going to monitor vehicles capable of traveling certain speed limits. We know that the executive director of the commission, approval of the commission, so establish this program for the administration to, kind of crack down on this. So again, it can also require people to enroll in the program as a condition of obtaining and maintaining a restricted driver's license. We know suspend such person's driver license and issue a person restricted driver's license that indicates his participation in the program. So this is something that we're also monitoring. We do have a breakdown of all these new laws on our website at 13newsnow.com. Just a lot really taking impact. We also know another one is criminal record sealing. So Virginia is going to be rolling out a new system that really lets many people get certain convictions sealed from public view. So some misdemeanors like marijuana possession or disorderly conduct will be sealed automatically. People with lower level felony convictions like class 5 or 6 can petition a circuit court to have those records sealed as well. We know violent crimes, sex offenses, firearm offenses, and a few other categories are not eligible. Those records will remain open, but this new system will kind of hide those, for just small misdemeanors, like we mentioned, like marijuana possession, disorderly conduct. Those won't be revealed for people to go and publicly access that if you happen to get arrested for something like that. So those are some of the new things that are all being rolled out. Again, we have a full breakdown of this right now on our website, 13newsnow.com. But your time is 11:06. Sarah will take a quick little break. We're going to take a quick little break, and when we get back, we got much more live impact news for you, everyone. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. 11:08. So I got ahead of myself there for a second. I was talking so much, I completely forgot one not new law rather, but one that has been really important here in Virginia that a lot of people have been talking about, and that is the assault style firearms ban. Now, we know that a judge has temporarily blocked this, the ruling of this law, so this is still not in effect, but I want to go over what this was as it's still on the table. So right now, Virginia has been looking at the possibility of banning the manufacture, sale, and transfer of certain semi-automatic firearms and large capacity magazines. So basically the manually operated guns, antiques, and permanently disabled firearms are excluded, but people who are already legally owning banned firearms will be able to keep them. It's just the transfer and sale of new AR style firearms is a law that state officials are really looking for right now. And the law would only affect new sales, as I mentioned, going forward. And some local prosecutors and sheriffs have already said they won't enforce it. Again, a judge has temporarily blocked this enforcement of this law. So it is not a set in stone law just yet, but it is something that is being talked about, looked at. We will continue to follow this, as we know this has been a big law that is being discussed right now here in our state.